What is the worst thing about Mike Huckabee?
The worst thing about Mike Huckabee is that he's turned into Sarah Palin. If you listen to a Mike Huckabee speech, the great stuff that he communicates about is himself, is his travails with the mainstream media, his wealth. No one wants to hear about that.
That email list, he's got that
Who
email
cares?
list. Yeah.
The biggest problem Mike Huckabee has now is that he's talking about himself and he's become a TV star. He's kind of lost touch, I think, with his roots as an Arkansas governor. And he still kind of, sometimes you can, again, talks wonderfully and he communicates wonderfully. You can hear him evoke back to it. But he's lost touch.
Yeah.
Mike Huckabee has lost touch with it and talks about himself too much.
So what do you think?
That's a really unattractive thing for a candidate like Huckabee, who has such gifts and a good record too.
So you're saying a guy who had a TV show for the last 4 years is talking too much about himself? I find that hard to believe.
People on TV do not like to. Of course, we know. But it does. It's a corrosive effect of him being on television, I think, and frankly, money. How
much do you think the social stuff hurts him? Because it's very easy for us here in LA or in New York, whatever, to say, all right, the gay marriage stuff, like you're obviously on the wrong side of history and whatever. Now, I wouldn't have voted for him either way, to be honest. But do you think just to get through the Republican primary, he's still doing the right thing?
I mean, he believes it. That's one of the things that you'll say about Mike Huckabee believes that gay marriage is a sin against God. Doesn't matter what the Supreme Court says. Yeah. So he's not going to change that position.
Yeah. Does he know we have separation between church and state?
I think he understands. He understands what the Constitution says. But for him, God exists prior to the Constitution. He was a pastor. Remember, he was. That's you and I might not subscribe to that view, but the key to understanding Huckabee is to kind of put yourself in the shoes, and that's what he believes. So I don't think the general election is going to be fought over those issues, and I don't think Huckabee's going to be there for the general election, and I don't think it's going to hurt him in the Republican primary either. I mean, initially, Republican voters, even Republican voters who don't like the evangelical wing of their party, they'll support someone who they think can win. I don't know if Republicans think he can win, because again, he's not talking to them about things that they want to hear about. He's talking about himself. Yeah. Which is not fascinating after 10 times.
Yeah. Well, he had a show. It was called Huckabee, but who am I to say anything about that? Anyway, what do you think about Mike Huckabee? Let us know in the comments right down below.